Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTube Ronin. I want to welcome you to tonight's episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. About an hour ago, I learned of the passing Sorry about that. About an hour ago, I learned of the passing of our friend, our brother in arms, pop culture curator. Our friend Gorilla's Random Thoughts is in the process of preparing a memorial show this evening in honor of him. So if you wish to go over there at any time, I understand. This one hurts because he was one of the first people to really support my channel. And I and my fellow panelists tonight are going to dedicate this show to him. Thank you. All right, good evening, folks. I'm just going to bring everybody in. The man of the hour, the true inspiration for this program. Last call, Trick Shelley.
Howdy.
Alongside him, of course, and as always, Netters Network.
Good evening, everyone.
The man who is dragged kicking and screaming into this broadcast, I was very simply shanghaied, Aged Boomer.
I am very
Glad to see you, old friend.
Wow.
That was fun. I didn't do it justice.
No, you did just fine. I'm kind of creepy fine.
If I had thought of it more in time, I would have put the evil Cooper on there instead of the Dougie. But anyway,
There you go.
Righty.
that was
The
creepy
chat-
last week.
Yes, it was.
Very.
Yes.
We have had people in the chat for going on nearly 2 hours now, so I do want to acknowledge them. Member for
Wow.
1 month, FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim, wishing the giant one Carol Sturkian happy birthday.
Wow.
Member for 4 months, friend of the channel, JPRPH1, hail chat and deleted scenes. The tired midnight blogger himself, Curtis Selby, their fellow channel member. Emoji Queen, Lady Mist. Yeah, the deleted guy. He's less said the better. Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Clary. And Curtis dropping his 4-month member chat. Just playing around with the stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Illegal in 4 states. Connie also dropping her 4-month member chat. Says, thank you for what you do. I do my best. Because I must. All right. Let's see. Scrolling down. Enigma Severus has joined us. Good evening, sir. And of course, join us in Cosme. The link should be at the top of all of our chats. I was saying, I saw the place Spamalot this weekend. It didn't scare me.
Well, there's that.
Thank you. Moving on.
Hmm.
All right. Let's see. Moving on. I don't want to miss anyone. And yes, please go back and watch Netter Show with Pop Culture Curator from February.
Yeah, that was a great show having him
It
on.
was.
He was a really great guest. So much fun. So those of you who don't know him and want to know what who he was and what he was like, go check that out. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you go back and see some of the shows that I've done with Outlaw Bill, Pop Culture Curator joined us on a number of occasions. So yeah, please keep a good thought for him tonight. All right, moving on. Let's see. And Bill is in the chat. Hello, Bill. All right. I am going to be joining Bill Thursday at 4:30 for Action Theater. And we are going to be watching the movie Red with Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, John Malkovich, and Midnight's Edge's own Dame Helen Mirren.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a great cast, that movie.
Yeah. And Bill dropping his 4-month member chat. Hail, my brother warrior. Rest in peace, Pop Culture Curator. Yes, sir. All right. And, all right, I think that's everybody as of right now. Enigma says Red is a great one. 2 is also somewhat fun. Yeah. Sequel, not as good as the first, but it's still worth a watch. Yeah. All right, so I also do not want to skip those of you who are joining us tonight on Twitter, I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Hit the like, share out the stream, let everyone know that we are on. So, all right. We have made it to part 5 entitled Case Files. And Troy, if you would catch us up on the current events.
Oh gosh, let's see. So last week, where did we leave off?
Dougie spat out coffee.
Oh, yeah.
It said hi.
Yeah. So
And
we
hello
got-
to Orville Nation. Sorry.
Oh, PJ, welcome. So let's see. So we're getting a little bit acquainted with Dougie Jones's family. Again, I think everything we're going to see from Dougie Jones is going to kind of retroactively fill you in on who this character was, because technically he is no more. We are now following an addled, Swiss cheese minded Dale Cooper, who is filling in for the now deconstructed Dougie Jones, which is a very weird thing to say. And, if it causes you any cognitive dissonance, don't worry. There is some resolution for Dougie Jones by the end of this series. But, so we've met his wife. We've met his son.
His friends.
Some of his friends from work.
Who wouldn't share a sandwich with him?
Exactly. Got a little bit more of the backstory of what was going on with him. We'll get a lot more tonight. Didn't really go back to Twin Peaks last week, did we at all?
I think there was something to do with.
Did we get some?
We met a new character. We met what is it? The officer that deleted scenes doesn't like. Remember?
Well, there's
that's
him.
right.
Yeah. And we also finally got our first look at Wally, who is the son of Andy and Lucy, who's played by Michael Cera, who's a character kind of patterns himself after Marlon Brando in The Wild One, but doesn't quite do it as well as Tom Hardy does in The Bike Riders. But that's neither here nor there.
True.
And we
We
saw an old character show up too.
Yes, we did.
Bobby.
We have seen one, Bobby Briggs, and we found him in the place where we least expected him, as an officer of the law.
Yeah.
He is the law.
He is now a deputy sheriff, which
Yeah.
is pretty much, the culmination of over 30 years of character development on his part, But honestly, it's one that I had said back when we were watching seasons 1 and 2. I said, I don't think you'll be too surprised with where he ends up if you think back on it, So, and I think that's pretty true. I think the seeds for his character development were laid out pretty clearly. And so you get here and you're like, well, that's a surprise, but, it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Let's see.
I don't know if you said hello to the glorious content.
Yes, the glorious content. First time I'm seeing you in my chat. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the show. This is a live from Sparkwood in 21. It is a retrospective of the Twin Peaks television series. And tonight we're going to be watching episode 5 of season 3.
And if you want to watch along, the Cosme link is pinned to the top of the chat.
Yep.
Just right-click on there to open a new tab, and you can follow along.
We haven't started
And
yet,
Nate
but
has
go
joined us
ahead
as
and open
well.
up Cosme. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I suppose I should get in there myself.
I'm actually gonna share it so that I'm ready to play when it's time to hit play. Let's see. I'm drawing it because I also got to be careful because I did kind of start rewatching tonight's episode a little bit as I was getting it ready, and I don't want to accidentally, do a spoiler or something like that. Am I correct? We also had another one of those, or maybe it was the week before, where Cooper is still seeing visions of Mike, the one-armed man, in the lodge, trying to advise him and square away whatever's gone wrong with his transition, so to speak.
Yeah, we do get the idea that Mike is trying to help Cooper, and like I said last week, of the denizens of the Black Lodge, he's the one who seems to be certainly the least dark. He is the one who is. So he's trying to guide Cooper through what he has to do, because we now have Cooper essentially divided into three different entities. We have our Cooper, who is now back in the real world after being trapped in the lodge for 25 years, but he's not quite himself.
Right.
He's not altogether there, and he has essentially taken the place of this character, Dougie Jones.
Right.
Who, of course, is Boomer's avatar. And so we now have our Cooper, essentially in having taken Dougie's place. Dougie is now in the lodge, or at least as the last place we saw him, he is in the lodge. And then, of course, we have the evil Cooper, who of course, made his presence first known at the end of season 2, who has Bob piggybacking on him and kind of making him even worse. So Cooper is essentially split off into 3 different people, effectively 4 if you want to count Bob. But we got to get this boy back in one piece.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to take a while. And Mike is trying to at least assist in that. So even though, since he is a denizen of the Black Lodge, he is essentially the evil doppelganger. He is the least evil of them.
I would even say that, without, being too dichotomous about it, if we try to look at his motivation, we know that he shared early on in the original series that he and Bob were like simpatico, they were like partners or whatever, and he had some sort of religious conversion and eschewed all of the evil they were doing, even to the point of cutting off his arm, to remove the mark of evil or whatever.
One connection I just kind of thought of at the moment was the relationship between Mike and Bob is very much like the one between Robert Blake and Robert Loggia's characters in Lost Highway. They were characters who were at one point in league with one another.
Oh, yeah.
Something happened somewhere along the way that Robert Blake turns against Robert Loggia, and what happens in that film happens.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So there is, kind of a...
And I feel that part of the manifestation of this, and I don't know to what extent you would consider this a good act or a non-evil act. I hate to fall back into my Dungeons and Dragons, terminology, but it does kind of help to simplify, the what I'm trying to communicate. You have good and evil. You also have order and chaos. I mean, you could be chaotic but still be good, right? You could be lawful, strict lawful, but terribly evil, right? The fascism would be like lawful evil, right? And I feel like, to the extent that Mike is good or evil, put that aside for a second, I think he is also trying to be an agent of order. There are certain rules about how the lodges are supposed to work and how they are supposed to interact with the real world, right? Or what we consider to be the real world, I guess is how I really should say it. And Evil Cooper and Bob are purposely circumventing those rules for their own gain. And Mike is like, this is wrong. We got to fix this. And he's trying to work with Cooper to make that happen. But trying to work with Cooper the way things are right now is like trying to build a ship inside a bottle. You can't do it directly. You got to kind of do it indirectly, because Cooper's kind of. Well, I figure he's kind of like somebody who's drunk,
Why you keep
someone's
calling
leading
him?
around.
Why you keep calling him Cooper? It's Dougie.
But see that.
No, it's Dougie.
But it's not Dougie, because we saw Dougie die. Basically.
It's a Dougie, and it's okay.
Well, I mean, I guess what you're saying isn't wrong, knowing what I know about the creation of Dougie Jones. But I'd almost argue you've got it backwards. Dougie Jones is an aspect of, or was an aspect of, Agent Cooper. It was like he is like an avatar or a. If you think about plants, right? If you take a plant and you cut a little cutting off of it and germinate that as its own separate plant, that's kind of what Dougie Jones was to Agent Cooper. Again, this is the lore that seems to be playing out as far as what they consider a tulpa to be. Like I said, I will have a video coming out when we get closer to the end of the season that digs a little bit more into doppelgangers and tulpas. But this is how things are kind of looking from the limited information we have right now. Having ourselves a party. Yeah.
Hanging out with my family, having ourselves a party.
It's a Birdemic reference.
There you go.
But,
yeah, I think
right.
that gives us a good basis. No! One other thing I gotta share. So we did mention Hawk and meeting the new deputies, including Bobby Briggs. Bobby Briggs gave us a little bit of background about what happened to his father, how his father died. Clearly a lot more going on there than he's even aware. He's doing the best he can. He's trying to, in a lot of ways, his character fills the role that his father did back in the original series. Knows some things, can share what he knows, but knows that there's more that he's unaware of. That'll play out even more going forward. But let's see. But what was I going to say about that? Oh, they are still very much involved in the, at least Hawk is still very much involved in the search for something that's missing, which is very difficult for him to communicate, to get help with, because it's, that very obscure clue given to him by Margaret Lanterman that he doesn't even understand, let alone explain to someone else.
Because we know it has something to do with Laura's case. So he has essentially reopened the investigation.
Which tore up Bobby Briggs.
And I mean, I'm telling you, he did a great job conveying that. You could really get how much unresolved feelings he's got going on there, you know?
Because it's like even now, all of these years later, that is still very much fresh in everyone's minds.
And I do believe this, I mean, you got to think about it, because this is probably something that you see going through his mind, you know, is we even saw it right in that first, or well, that was either the first or the second episode of the series, where he's, you know, at Laura's funeral and he's blaming, you know, the town for it. We all knew she had, you know, something going on and nobody did anything, you know. I think the implication is some people directly contributed to it, himself included. And I really feel like you see him dealing with that guilt in real time in the original series, and all that kind of comes flooding back to him. He probably hadn't thought about it in a while. That was partly his way of dealing with it, even though, you know, it was a driving force in his life, a positive one. You know, negative events having positive impacts on your life. But also it makes me think, again, what I was just saying about Mike and him trying to bring order and correct the evils or whatever, the circumvention that Bob has been doing for a while. We saw him doing that in the original series, trying to warn Laura in Fire Walk with Me, you know, who Bob really was and so forth. He's been trying to help, you know. Right. Old wounds sometimes never do heal. And, I mean, going back to, like Star Trek V, right? Where you got Cybot going around taking away people's pain. And Kirk says, no, you can't take away my pain. Because that's part of who I am. I wouldn't be who I am without my pain. And that really is true, right? So, hate to tell you this, guys, but some people are going to have more pain coming. So maybe we should get to it.
Yeah.
Because we unfortunately do have a body that is yet to be identified, and I have been told backstage that I'm not going to be happy when I find out who that is. That's got me worried.
This episode is going to revisit that a little bit, and I'm not sure if you get your answer this week or next week. Do you consider a spoiler if I tell you that, you know, you're going to get an answer in a particular episode? I mean, something to look forward to. It doesn't give you the answer, you know.
No. Well, we'll see. Will it? All right. All right, folks. Now is the time. If you have not yet joined us in Cosme, we are about to get started.
Yep.
Episode 5, Case Files. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Do. Yes, this was originally aired on Showtime. If any of this were to ever bleed through our mics, it would be Showtime that would be taking down our streams. Oh, and I do have to say that the powers that be behind Twin Peaks are as brutal with copyrights and stuff like that as Paramount is with Star Trek.
Really?
Yeah. Tim, don't get too excited. I don't think there's anything, that egregious this week. I don't know. Maybe. I don't remember exactly. One thing I do have to say, though, I do love being able to see the falls from this angle, like seeing it from above. And it does make me wonder if that's a nod to kind of seeing Twin Peaks from above, so to speak, from the lodges or something like that, Seeing it in a way that you would not be able to see it with your feet on the ground.
Starting off in Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Martini. Yes.
And these are the guys who are trying to hit Dougie.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is why they're trying to kill Dougie.
Yeah, this is backstory we haven't gotten yet.
Yeah.
We'll have to. That's a puzzle that'll be.
I assume they are the ones he owes the money to.
Well, if they kill him, they're not going to get any money.
Sometimes you cut your losses and you take strong action because it sends a message. This is what'll happen to you if you don't pay me.
But I'm kind of getting the idea of Dougie owes these people money and they owe other people that money. Is the
Right.
idea I'm getting. I could be.
Yeah, it's probably pretty complicated. Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah. So this is kind of a funny element, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's that body. A BlackBerry is a fairly new technology from the perspective of somebody in the 80s and 90s. It's old technology to us.
I guess that's corner humor.
FKHC 2005 says, I hear he was headstrong. It's not. It's, uh-oh.
Oh, Snapple. How's that possible? Okay.
Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah.
Mr. Sunshine. Heads up, Tim. Thanks.
Do you think they serve him cream corn as in the prison food there?
Good question. Yeah.
Well, I wonder what it is. Maybe I won't be
here we go.
wrong.
Okay.
I want to see what it is. Salisbury steak and cream corn and a whole grain roll.
And
That's
see,
my
this
guess.
is interesting. Like he knows before something happens what's happening.
But
Like he's slightly out of time.
You do get the idea why Kyle MacLachlan chose to come back, because they really are. He's stretching some different acting muscles here. He's basically playing. I mean, you think about it. He is essentially playing 4 different characters.
True.
Is that a
Absolutely
breakfast
true.
tray? Was that ham and eggs I saw? What was that?
Oh, I don't know.
Carmen Boschio?
I'll see ya. Yeah, here we go.
Tim says it was spam.
Oh, well, that makes more
He's
sense.
starting to remember. Now, here's when I'm starting to wonder.
That's
okay.
kinda
Well,
cool.
we might have a bit of a problem here. But what I was thinking there for a minute. Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Hold that thought.
I like how they actually show it, his face morphing into Bob's, rather than the simple
Yeah.
double mirror trick.
Ah,
Yep. So Mike
Nelson,
Nelson,
how
we're
you
going to
doing,
see
bud?
where he's at now. And again, Gary Hirschberger, great guy.
Caleb Landry Jones. Yeah.
Oh, gee. I kind of know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I once tried to help a friend get a job at the company I was working for. I actually recommended her. She showed up in basically a tank top with a little jacket over top and dress pants. Took off the jacket, slung it across the back of the chair when she went into my boss's office, and just did this little casual slump into the chair. It's like, you're not hanging out with your girlfriends, honey. This is a job interview.
Yeah.
Needless to say, she was not hired. My boss was not impressed.
You got to dress to impress.
Right now, Lucy. Okay, Harry.
Do we know what kind of illness he's got?
I don't think so.
And then he harpoons her accidentally on purpose. Oh,
Yeah,
wrong movie.
exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
You're
So
going to
get a
have
second
to.
bucket.
Yet life's not fair.
By the way, in case you don't recognize her, that's Doris Truman. She starred opposite David Bowie in The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Yeah.
She does nothing but complain.
Keep in mind that this third Sheriff Truman is really 35 years old. That's just what.
Yeah, this is just the stress he's been under from this marriage, right?
Sonny Jim.
Oh,
Dougie.
Well, and don't think for a moment that I don't think you or the kid will kill him for it.
Right.
Because I've seen you both do that. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, why is he crying?
Empathy.
The kid's sad, I guess.
Lady, this is 3.5 seasons in of weird shit. Believe me. This
Yeah,
is not-
exactly. This is the most normal stuff we've ever seen here.
No drinking and
Oh.
gambling.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't believe no drinking and gambling. Can I at least hunt the neighborhood? I'm sorry. I was gonna say, can I at least hunt the neighborhood cats with my crossbow? I'm kidding.
Did you catch that the sign Rancho Rosa
Yeah.
and the two R's were circled
Yeah.
like a double R?
Oh.
Not sure what the connection is there. I'm just pointing it out.
I'm sure it means
The car's
something.
still there.
You got those 3 crosses on that house.
Yeah.
Well, they put a bomb on the car, so if somebody starts, it's going to go kablooey.
Correct.
2R Street crosses Black Cadillac, yeah, boys time bomb.
Yeah, I know. I changed the lyrics. I'm sorry.
Wonder if that's where the Simpsons house prize is located. Are you talking about the family that won the Simpsons house when they had that Fox contest? It's like a replica of the Simpsons house.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
That was
But
a
I
most
remember
bizarre
that.
prize. What kind of car is that? That's not a Himikuta, is it?
It's a black one.
Looks
A
kind
Camaro?
of futuristic.
Nowadays, it would just be a Batmobile.
Now I'm getting reminded of the Lost Highway soundtrack.
Yeah.
I still have that CD from back in the day.
The car's still here.
There's a few ways that can go.
And welcome, Logical Spark. Good to see you.
And Mark Manikoff.
There's the door.
Hello, DJ Play Nice.
Well, he didn't even open the door for himself. You thought he was going to close it?
One of my turns coming on.
Oh, who's that?
I don't know.
It's the little moments like this that make life magical, right?
I suppose, yeah. It's almost like you want to look at what he's, aiming at.
Mm.
Well, it's a good thing he was aiming at something, otherwise he wouldn't have known where to go. in a lot of ways, he's kind of like a leaf blowing on the breeze, and he just requires,
The next
some outer stimuli to push him along to his next destination.
Well, think about it. You'd be a little confused where to go to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's going to follow the coffee.
It's like, where'd he go?
Hello.
Hello.
Come back, Sydney Sweeney. I'm sorry, whoever that was.
Hey,
David Byrne's big suit. Yeah, exactly. It does look like water flowing underground.
Once in a lifetime.
I think the guy carrying the coffee might have already had it quite a bit.
Yeah.
What's neat about this is this shows you what other Lynch shows would have been like if they were set in different areas of the country.
True.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, just
Dougie, man. Come on,
Dougie.
easy on Dougie.
Dougie.
I like how he didn't really get it like in the right spot. He had to turn it around.
So, by the way, we didn't ask. What's everybody drinking?
Diet grapefruit soda.
Meyer sparkly waterberry.
Yep. Interestingly, neither one of us drinking anything with caffeine in it.
Oh, I am. I've got my coffee going here. In fact, I'm going to have to get up here in a moment and get some more.
It's like, I don't know this guy.
Okay. This way. This way. Okay.
Easily distracted.
Well, because he hears someone say coffee, so he
Right?
stopped.
Lucky 7 Insurance. I'll say.
Well, what is
Oh,
that?
This guy.
He's good in anything.
Oh, Tom Sizemore. Holy shit.
Yeah, I told you there's going to be a lot of these.
Spent 25 years in the Black Lodge. Kind of same
Yeah.
thing.
Coffee. Dougie, take a seat already.
Well, yippee.
Hey, yeah. Come back when you're Brendan Fraser.
Boy,
All right.
he likes that coffee.
That ugly green jacket. I thought that was like the same kind of jacket that everyone wore in the
Get some green tea. It's too late.
Okay, just go.
Why would you get a green tea latte that nobody wants instead of just getting another coffee?
Good point.
I know. It's almost like he knew this bit was going to
Yeah,
happen.
it's like, oh, okay, it's pretty good.
Well, I'm waiting for the person to come in wanting the green tea latte now. Right? It's like,
No, he said I got an extra.
an extra.
green tea.
Why? Does he
Maybe
like?
he likes it.
Oh, he likes it. Look at that.
I mean, he's smiling.
Yeah.
Okay, nice save.
See, Dougie, you're hovering.
Staring.
Dougie, you're hovering.
Because he has zero idea what he's doing there.
Plus, there's no chair for him
Right.
that I see. Unless it's on the end and I just can't see.
It's on the end there, yeah.
Sit down, Dougie. Oh, hello, man. Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. It's okay.
Did the mule kick you in the back of the head? What's going on here
Yeah.
today?
That Don Murray?
Maybe.
Please. Oh. Oh, is this how you've been doing this all this time?
Yeah.
Oh. Dude, he's going to jump over the table and bury that pen in your head. Say something.
Right.
Come on, say something else.
Huggy.
He's so pissed. Look at him.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that GIF in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, just bring him in.
Do you realize you're like the only one in the world that calls it GIF?
GIF. I said GIF.
Okay.
I keep forgetting it. It's like a cognitive. I never mind.
Even he kicked it. Where am I going? Oh man. Oh, that's got to be a reference to something there.
He's keyed into the word agent.
Yes, yes. Come on, you're getting there.
Wow. There we go.
Yeah.
We got our
Here we
time.
go. He said, "Oh shit!"
Oh boy.
Dougie, just go. Oh no! Somebody
If
take him
there's
to
no
the
one else with
bathroom,
us.
please. And good night, Tim.
I'm
Take
worried he's
care.
going to open the fire chute. I'm worried he's going to open the fire chute and go down. And jump down it. That's just...
I'm over here.
I need to pee.
It's like I can't even think of anything other than peeing.
This
Unless
means
you're
that-
into that, get out of my way.
No, you realize the content of what she just says. This means that Dougie Jones tried to kiss her before.
Probably. Exactly right.
But that's when he was heavier and
Yeah.
disheveled.
Exactly.
Meanwhile,
Oh boy. I know what's coming. Oh boy.
oh, this poor bastard. He thinks
He
he's
looks
about
like he's seen,
he might be about to die. I don't know.
it's like he's seen the Grim Reaper or something, huh?
Maybe.
Hi. Oh.
Ow.
Okay, ladies, waiting to John. Oh.
How would he be in on it?
I have to assume there's some history here.
Do you think these
Yeah,
guys
I would
belong to a
stay.
certain? Do these
Yeah.
guys belong to a certain organization? Maybe.
Well, when you consider that Las Vegas was basically founded by a certain organization, then yes. I'm not saying my grandfather knew some of those people.
This, believe it or not, this is them being nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better that than getting a ride to the right out to the desert, right?
Right. I don't want his job.
You got it now, whether you want it or not.
Oh boy. Meanwhile,
Back at the ranch.
Yeah.
movie
So
G.
the bomb is still there. Mom is still strung out.
This strikes me as a house that would have corn nuts stashed somewhere, right?
Okay.
I don't know why. That just popped in my head.
Corn nuts.
Johnny Lawrence liked them.
I was thinking Heather's, but okay.
Oh yeah, here we go. Hey kid, I bet there's a lot.
Yeah, look both ways so you don't get hit by a car before you set off that bomb.
I bet there's a lollipop inside that car, huh? Just...
Well, I saw them put the thing under there.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, what's that thing?
Oh,
Oh my God!
It's like, okay.
Oh, they didn't have anything to do with it. They just want to steal the car. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
But there's
Okay.
no bodies.
Splash
They're
3.
trying to keep the budget down.
Yeah.
Would you look how the rubber trim is melted? There's the bodies.
Oh.
Well, there should be 3.
No, the other guys, I guess, were away far
Yeah,
enough.
there was
I
2
don't-
that got to the car, and the other 2 stayed behind.
Oh, did that wake her up? The big explosion?
Nope, him slamming the door.
And now okay. There's 2 bodies.
Yep.
There should also have been one inside.
Yeah, well, he's
If there was,
probably
then
in
there's
more than
nothing
one
left of
piece.
That one.
I love how the caption says dramatic music.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of sounds like the Mulholland Drive music.
Watched it.
And whoever wanted to see Jade, congrats, she's back. Oh, yeah.
You notice the bag of it say clean place, reasonably priced.
Yep.
Oh, they'll just bring it back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It actually,
And-
I think, says
Oh,
on
here we
there,
go.
if found,
Yeah.
you know, drop in a mailbox, send back to.
Oh, look who it is.
Norma. Shelley. Oh, Amanda, my Seyfried.
Did she say Toad or Todd?
Toad.
Oh, there's Toad, like a frog. What's the relationship between the two at the counter, Shelley and Bridget?
That's Shelley's daughter.
Oh, when did Shelley
Oh.
have a kid?
Yep.
Okay.
And the guy that was getting ripped by Mike, her husband.
Oh, jeez. No. Don't tell me
Yeah.
that. No.
Sorry.
Refuse. I call shenanigans.
Wait, the guy who was being interviewed is the daughter's husband?
Yep.
Okay, who's daddy?
Um,
Is it Leo or is it Bobby?
no, Bobby.
Okay. I know she could have been pregnant with Leo's kid.
Yeah, no, she could have been, but yeah, no.
What
Yeah,
is it
no,
with you
'cause
women
we
and
know-
hooking up
we
with
know that-
idiots?
We
Oh,
know
okay.
that Shelley married Bobby because they referred to her in a previous episode as Shelley Briggs.
She does not look the same. Is that the same actress?
Yes.
She does not look the same. She actually looks better now.
Yeah, she does look good. Yeah. Actually, they both do.
Yeah, I am still in love with every woman on this show.
Right?
It's Twin Peaks. We are not made of money. You are not Ben Horn. Rethink it.
Right, exactly.
While we're on the subject, where the hell's Catherine?
Is that guy in the last exorcism?
Yes.
I think he was. Yes, he was
Yeah.
the brother. Yes, I remember
Yeah.
him now. He said, "If you do anything, you hurt her, I'll beat you, and I won't care if the camera's watching." That's what he said
Yeah.
to the preacher.
Like, Mark, was that Biden at the counter? No. Yeah, I saw who he meant. Looked like him, right?
If you want to see Caleb Landry Jones in a really good movie, check out a movie called The Outpost that he's in with Scott Eastwood. He should have gotten an Oscar nomination for that movie. He is outstanding in it.
All right.
Really
Go for
good
it.
movie. Yeah. Afghan war film.
Yeah, I think
Orlando
I've-
Bloom's in it. Mel Gibson's son is in it.
I've heard of it.
It's good film. The guy who plays Hellboy now, he's in it.
David Haber, right?
No, the new
Oh,
one.
I forgot they announced the new Hellboy. Right. What's he? What's he taking there?
Looks like cocaine.
That's
not-
going to help.
Oh my! Oh great!
Bobby's going to kill you. You know that. We've heard this before.
Yeah.
My God, we're just falling into the same patterns here, aren't we?
That's, I think, the absolute intent. Yes.
Whoa, that's a tape deck. Ah.
You kind of feel that same bittersweetness here that you did a lot of times with Laura, right? It's like, oh, you want her to be happy, but not this way.
Right now she's high.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Meanwhile, Dougie against the world.
Well, I love the fact that everybody's facing the door and he's facing them.
But at least you get to pee.
Yes. Cannot be overstated what a relief that can be.
Get out of here!
This Fallout spinoff is weird.
It's the guy with the gun again. At least he stands out with that green jacket, so
True.
his wife can
That
find
is
him.
true.
It's like, isn't she gonna pick him up from work?
It's a lot
Apparently
of
not.
that's a lot of homework there, huh?
It's like, what is he looking at?
I keep thinking it every time they cut back to town. I go, "Oh, or thank God we're home."
Yeah, kind of.
Back to Twin Peaks for some good old-fashioned American street violence.
It's funny you say that because it does seem like everything is, over the past 30 years, is spread out from Twin Peaks, and this is about coming back to Twin Peaks. Just like that key that was just dropped in the mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something is missing, all of that, you know?
Yeah, but what? Because I'm feeling like I should know and I'm forgetting something.
It's the chocolate bunnies.
It's actually so obvious. Have you found any Indians?
We're not looking for an Andy.
I don't like donuts.
Back to Jacoby.
These guys dropping the memes. I don't know where you're finding them. That's amazing.
No.
There it is.
This West Side Story sequel is weird.
Yeah. That's a deep dive for those of you who know that Tamlin was in West Side Story.
And isn't that how we usually set up our streams? We have everything in front of us like that? And
Yep.
That's cool.
I don't think that's a word. This is the town psychologist, by the way, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Or it was anyway.
Yeah, it was. Nadine.
Yep. The previous one was Jerry Horn.
Uh,
Warts?
Mm-hmm. He sounds like me.
my guest on Unscripted next week will be Dr. Jacoby.
Yeah, exactly. Mark says he's describing the World Economic Forum. Yeah, he kind of is. And he's not entirely wrong. That's right.
What? What's he doing?
Don't. What are you doing? Lawrence? I'm scared. It is?
2 coats guaranteed.
Now, what if you send something to a P.O. box? Who it belongs to?
Well,
Well, considering there also isn't an actual town called Twin
yeah,
Peaks.
right.
Oh, thank God. Sanity. Ernie Hudson, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
He has a great voice.
He does.
But that's not possible because he died in a fire.
I guess he's being sarcastic because
Right.
government, you don't fly first class. Nice music.
Yeah.
And hello to Disney Sheep Herder and Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective.
No smoking. Any smoking.
Because he doesn't care?
Exactly.
So, hey there, eh?
Yeah, Chad's not a
Yeah.
good cop.
You didn't like this guy from the get-go, did you, deleted scenes?
No, I didn't.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, Morley's. Okay.
Yep.
Well, obviously he's the bad guy then.
Is that an X-Files reference?
Anyone smoking Morley's. It's more than an X-Files reference. Morley's goes way back before Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks. Before X-Files.
When he smoked in X-Files, I remember that. Yeah.
He's going to light your fire.
So if that was Evan Rachel Wood for a second, but not quite.
I would have sat down opposite of him.
Well, here's the problem here, Leo, part 2. Red over there wields a chainsaw about as well as Bruce Campbell. So, unless...
I like the thing of Lisa dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, Agent Tammy. is maybe starting to fall for the hunky stud. This man is also this man, but with a different wig. Curtis, I'm convinced you're just screenshotting this.
I know, right? Him and Nate both.
She matching Lonnie at fingerprints?
She's comparing his FBI files to the criminal files. So basically, old Coop to new Coop.
Are the fingerprints reversed?
I don't remember.
The Secret of S. River. The worst DVD feature of all time. Blair Witch 2.
Blair Witch.
I'll need my plane. Where's my plane? Wrong show, sir. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
He's staring into our souls, sir. Ghostbusters?
Does he know who that is?
Mr. Sherlock.
Well, no.
Ghostbusters. That's way more numbers than you for a phone number.
Dial the number straight to hell, I think, or something.
Mark. Strawberry.
The spotted cuckoo bird flies backwards. It's a cold day for pontooning.
Yep.
It's Cooper stuff.
It's Cooper stuff.
Okay.
Meanwhile.
Okay, we're in Argentina now. Okay. I would like to apologize to Argentina right now before any shenanigans take place, because I'm sure there's going to be some.
And this book ends back to Lorraine.
Oh. Okay.
Doggy.
Meanwhile. Hi, Dougie. He's here.
You're gonna get in trouble, Dougie.
Okay.
Yeah. Poor Dougie's just left sitting there. This is what happens when there's nobody to,
Pick you up.
he's forgotten. Curtis says this one didn't end with a musical number in the bar. I feel lost and confused. Well, the musical number comes a little bit early with what's his name? Richard.
Was there a soundtrack for the this season?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I own it.
Oh, I'll have to find it.
Okay.
In memory of Marv Rosend. Anyway, you guys were asking earlier about who Toad was. That was Marv Rosend.
Oh.
Alrighty then.
But he had been he was reprising his role from The Missing Pieces. Technically, we didn't see him in Twin Peaks proper, but then he's kind of restored in The Missing Pieces. So there you go. Well, that was a lot to take in. Again, you kind of get a blend of some straightforward story, although because we're seeing it so incompletely, it may seem weird. You get Chad, you get Richard, you get some stuff that's going on at the roadhouse. Nothing supernatural or weird going on there, other than as observers, we don't know what's going on. Just like if we were any strangers that happen to be there that night. We don't know who these people are, the greater context of any of it, but, kind of file that away. A lot of these puzzle pieces will fall into place later on. But then you definitely got some weird supernatural stuff, right? You got this BlackBerry device in Buenos Aires, right? And it bookends this episode because you've got Lorraine taking the call regarding Dougie and so forth. She sends the message to her contact Argent, and that causes the Buenos Aires device to ring and flash twice, right? And then at the end, apparently, Evil Dale calls it, and it again flashes twice, and then shrinks into seed or something. So, what's that about? That's probably the weirdest part of this. We found a ring inside the body that belongs to Dougie.
Dougie?
It's Dougie's wedding ring. Which, of course, is weird. We know that Shelley's son-in-law, Stephen Burnett, is trying to get a job. He tried interviewing with Mike Nelson. That didn't go well. He clearly has a drug problem. He is a terrible, terrible influence on his wife, Becky.
It's kind of judgmental, but that's okay.
You know, you also get the impression that these people kind of know each other. You know, we're coming in after 30 years. These people are filling us in. You know?
So it's sort of like how in the original show everyone had a history, and now we're learning
Exactly.
about new history. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I hadn't thought about it that way. You get to know these characters in Twin Peaks so well. It's like you always knew them, and that wasn't the case when you first watched the show. You had to fill in all those details, and we're doing the same thing now, 30 years later.
Troy,
Yeah.
I got a question. Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I
Do you
was
remember
going to
when
draw the comparison to, especially since we saw Ernie Hudson tonight, to Ghostbusters Afterlife, right? You jump ahead 30 years for your sequel. How do you fill it in? You could do it ham-fisted and stupid like Lucasfilm does with Star Wars and put out a bunch of comic books that may or may not be considered canon, even though they say they are, and they don't really fill anything in, and then you leave it up to future writers to write other stories, you know, in between to try and fill in those gaps. Or you just start telling your story 30 years later, and you drop little clues and elements and lines here and there for people to think about and fill in the blanks as you go. I think Afterlife and The Return both did that and did it well. I think it's especially cool the way, you know, Twin Peaks does it, because it is so on brand for the storytelling, the way that Lynch and Frost have done it previously. Anyway, you were going to say.
I wanted to see if you remember. Do you remember when this first aired?
Yeah, it wasn't it, what year was it? It was, I want to say 2017.
2017, yeah.
Do you remember the online controversy going on when this was going on? I remember people were getting pissed about Dougie. I remember one guy said,
I've been holding off on bringing that up since we haven't really quite gotten to the big episode that really set everybody off.
Okay, then we'll wait on that. Okay, I'll wait on that till it happens. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like if we get into it,
well, we'll get into it next. Then when that episode happens, and I'll let you lead it off.
Next week or the week after. Yeah, I was thinking about that today.
I just know people were starting. At one point, people were losing it.
But even before they got to that, you had a lot of people that were coming to this show. There were a lot of Twin Peaks fans. There's a whole gambit, right, of people here. You have people like us that kind of get the shtick. So we expect some answers, we expect some new questions, and we expect some answers we'll never get. And we're just along for the ride. We're here in the spirit of what David Lynch does, right? And we're going to try to get answers. We're going to try to tease things out of it, because there's a lot more here that you don't see on a surface viewing, right? That's what we're doing here. But ultimately, it all comes down to just our way of enjoying it, right? Just enjoy it. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
Then you've got people that never quite got it, that expected there to be answers, you know, and they go to see Fire Walk with Me and didn't get the answers, right? You know, actually, if you were really into it like we were, you know, reading Laura's diary and the authorized biography of Dale Cooper and all that other stuff, you didn't get a lot out of Fire Walk with Me as far as narrative story that we didn't already know. You know, some of that was just, you know, physical representation of what we read about in those books, right? But then they see, oh, it's returning 30 years later. We're getting another season. They look for answers. They get a couple, but it's even more weird with even more questions. In a way, I almost feel like it's David Lynch saying, keep looking for answers with me. I'll just keep giving you more questions. We'll just make it more complicated as we go. And they some of them got really annoyed, and it's like, fans like us were going, well, what the hell did you expect? That's what this is. This isn't, just Melrose Place reunion show or something like that.
If you saw the original, if you didn't see the original series and you walk into this season blind, you are going to be so lost.
Well, and that was going to be my third group of people that are just seeing it for the first time. They're like, oh, I've heard about Twin Peaks. I've had friends that, told me about it, or my mom or whatever loved this show. I'm going to go check this out, on Showtime. They watch it and they're like, although, if that's their initial reaction, they're probably going, okay, well, I didn't see the first 2 seasons and that movie, so maybe I got to go get caught up. Their benefit is they have access to the internet, right? Mm-hmm. So they can catch up, they can, read the notes, they can do a lot of crash course in Twin Peaks that was much harder for us back in the day. So from that group, we end up with the people that are still frustrated because they're not getting any answers. And then you get new fans that go, oh, okay, I guess I'm not missing so much. I am kind of, and then they start digging into the lore and they start doing the same thing we did, but many years later. And in some cases going to, get-togethers and conventions and going to Reddit threads and stuff like that, interacting with the old fans, kind of bringing new ideas, getting some help from the old timers and stuff, which is, of course, great. And then, of course, you've got another whole group of surface normies who came to this and goes, okay, this is just weird. I don't get it. I don't care. Walk away.
I do want to bring up something that Nate brought up in the chat, which I think he might be a little confused here, or maybe not. We'll see. So the body in the hotel was Dougie's body. So it's not bloated from being dead. It's because Dougie was a big man. That's why on Cooper, the clothes are so big, but who was the head? All right. I don't think the headless body is Dougie.
Right. Yeah.
Based on the information.
There's a couple things. There's a couple of clues that you get. First, we saw the actual Dougie get pulled into the lodge and deconstructed. So his body doesn't exist anymore. It's a fair theory. Oh, well, maybe this is his body, but where is his head, right? This body is a little bit bigger than Dougie's was. So Dougie, of course, still played by Kyle MacLachlan. He's wearing a bit of a fat suit, right? With makeup to give him the jowls, the puffy face. He was bigger, but not that much bigger. This body was, had a much bigger belly.
Mm-hmm. And the woman we've more or less established, because she does have a name, because they have a head that can identify her.
Right.
But you have told me already, Troy, on the show, that we will see that character again, but played by a different actress. So that the actual cast head is someone else.
Yeah. And I'm kind of feeling like the body, keep in mind, it's kind of carved open, right? It was when we saw it. I think the way the rib cage is cracked open, I think it makes the torso look larger than it was. I mean, yes, it is a large person, but I think the body looks larger than it would if it was all closed up. I hate talking about a body this way, but you get what I mean. Yes, absolutely. So and I promise you, next week you get more about the headless body. Gonna get more about Cooper's fingerprints. You're gonna get more about the fact that they got a hit on Garland Briggs's fingerprints.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it kind of makes sense that Ernie Hudson's playing the character that is doing follow-up investigations on whatever Garland Briggs was looking into, because something weird. Who are you gonna call, right?
Oh, is that, you think that's not obvious? Oh, okay.
I don't know if that was directly intentional, but or just serendipitous, but it works. Dr. Jacoby is now a web host. He's doing
He's
YouTube.
a YouTuber.
He's a YouTuber going by the name of Dr. Amp. Right? He's got at least two regular viewers, Jerry Horn and Nadine Hurley. Right? His whole shtick is out of the shit and into the truth. I couldn't help but think that maybe they were kind of suggesting what's his name? Jordan Peterson kind of thing. Clean your own room. Clean your room.
Well, it's a self-help thing. That's what it looked like to me. Yeah.
And uncover the truth. I think that's very much in the mindset of someone like a Jordan Peterson, but also kind of a meta reference to us as viewers watching Twin Peaks, trying to get into the truth, right? Or for people like you, Boomer, the truth is out there, right?
Yeah. The truth is out there. The truth will set you free.
And Richard and Chad at the Roadhouse. I don't know if this makes a difference, but the name of that band was Trouble. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of appropriate. So
there are some not charming people on this show.
No.
But that was true. That was always true.
That was true.
Although
before.
It does seem like there is more, as we are starting to look outside of Twin Peaks, we're starting to see more and more darker personalities. Let's put it that way, I think. But even outside of Twin Peaks, we see some people that are just normal people. Some of them with very positive qualities. Not everyone's evil. So yeah.
Curtis is asking, anyone else seen the recent last episode of The X-Files? I have not. When you get to the later seasons, that's kind of when I started to fall out with it. I don't know where they ended up.
I can chime in, all right? I'm going to chime in on this. You're talking about the Revival series, correct, Curtis Selby?
Mm-hmm.
The Revival series that, when they came back for the 2 seasons later on. Now, this was in recent years. I don't know if this was after the Twin Peaks revival. It might have been around the same time. But anyway, here's what I think. I think that all of the My Struggle episodes, even though I do like seeing the cigarette smoking man again, even though he was killed twice on the show. Maybe actually, no, 3 times actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But it's okay. I didn't mind seeing him again. He was worth watching in those episodes. But I felt the whole conspiracy thing at that point was just complete and utter crap. However, I did like, at least in the second Revival series, some of the standalone episodes. And I really like the Lost Art of Forehead Sweat. In my opinion, you treat that as the last episode of the X-Files. And it is a comedic X-Files episode, but it's actually rather funny. And I don't want to say where this scene comes from the episode, but there's a scene where the aliens show up on Earth, and they say we're putting a wall around the solar system. You feel free to explore Uranus. You're not sending out your best people. It was a riff on, of course, the famous Trump talking points. And what regardless of where you are in the political, I still found that funny when the alien's saying this. But then he hands Mulder a book. Here you go. Here's a book of all the answers. And Mulder picks up the book and is looking at it, and he's like, no, there's no mystery anymore. And he's crying. It was kind of a spoof part of the episode anyway. It was a weird episode. Did I lose everybody?
No, absolutely.
Okay, but I consider that you can watch that episode and treat it as the final episode, and you'll be okay. The My Struggle stuff is nonsense, but it was worth seeing Cigarette Smoking Man again. That's my opinion. Okay.
And since we're in the deep dive portion of the discussion, I can give you some background and some deep dive information about some of the stuff we saw. So. This is a cool little. This has nothing to do with interpreting the show, but I think it says a lot about people appreciating the shows they watch and Kyle MacLachlan's acting talent. So, upon release, Twin Peaks: The Return earned some criticism for earning the Empty Cup Award, a satirical achievement for television series where actors handle coffee cups that are claimed to be full in the dialogue, but are very clearly empty based on how they are handled by the performers. In the case of this episode, however, Kyle MacLachlan was given some praise for being the sole actor to handle his cup as though it were actually full, especially in an episode where a character, Phil Bisbee, unrealistically balances 2 full trays of coffee while running around.
Well, here's what I don't get. Even if they don't want to give him coffee, why not just fill the cup up with water?
Because it is challenging. You know, when you have cups of any kind of liquid, you don't want there to be a spill that has to be cleaned up in between takes.
All right.
Personally, what I think they should do is fill the bottom of the cup with, some sort of weight, something heavy, like obviously not lead, but something like that. So there is some heft to it. Just even a little bit makes a difference. Now that statue of the guy holding the gun was originally not part of the location and was brought by the production staff. It might be a statue of Donald Lynch, father of David Lynch, since according to the stand-in, Tyler Malkin, Lynch talked to it saying, "Hi, Dad." I think that's kind of sweet. I like that idea. Now, here's where we get into deep lore. I don't know if you guys... Well, this stream will be up. You guys can always come back, rewind, listen to it again. But I'm going into the weeds here. The numbers input by the doppelganger during his phone call are, using the standard DTMF tones, pitched up 2 octaves for off-screen ones. 16, pause, 1 2 3 5 7 8 9, computer modem response, 3 1 3 5 3 7 8 9 1 2 3 1 5, and then off screen 0 1 1 8 9 9 9 8 8 1 9 9 9 1 1 9 7 2 5 3. You got all that? Like I said, rewind and play again if you want to write these out and take a look at them. Anyway, this could be interpreted as 2 numbers dialing to get an outside line from the internal prison phone system, then 7-digit local number calling a computer set up beforehand with a local number so it would be a free local call, and finally a code that triggers a pre-planned automated hack of the prison system. Or it could just be bullshit.
Well, it did something.
Although it is, the 0118, yeah, does absolutely seem to imply that. So, I don't know. Just thought I'd share that with you so you had something to think about if you wanted to do that deep a dive. Again, you never do know if the people making the show intended that or not, so.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Wilmer.
Hi.
Go ahead.
I lost internet for a second there.
Of course.
Okay.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, well, you lost connection because, you were trying to dial the phone and you interrupted your modem.
I remember those days.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't call the house. Don't pick up the phone. You'll knock me off.
Well, every time I tried calling my own number, I got a busy signal, probably because I was on the phone. I kid you not. I mean, that's really what would happen.
It would. I've done that.
That's all I got. I think that was quite a lot.
Yeah. I did like it when Dougie called out the guy and said he's lying.
Yeah, there'll be payoff for that next time.
He was pissed. He was not happy.
And he's got a lot of work he has to do. So he's going to have to figure out how to do whatever it is Dougie Jones does.
And Dougie Jones
he actually pulls it off.
In that I drop the key so I bend down and not get killed kind of way. Yeah.
He needs a sandwich.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing, too. He doesn't know how to do anything for himself. He doesn't know how to eat, drink. It's got to just be given to him, He can't even go pee unless someone points him towards the toilet.
I like the guy with the green tea, though, Frank, when he said...
Did we lose him?
Uh-oh.
Wilmer, speak to us, lad.
He may have lost internet again.
Okay.
Yeah, this is... What happened there got me... It seems to imply to me, like you guys were saying, well, why does someone buy an extra, what was it, chai latte or green tea latte? He goes in, you get the impression this guy's been buying coffee for the team the whole time, right? He knows who he's getting it for and why and what they want. He didn't bother to get...
Went for Dougie because he didn't think he was
It sounded like he was playing Ragtime Girl. That's funny. And now you're in here twice.
What?
Yes.
How am I in here twice?
Your icon shows up
two of
twice now. There are two of you.
Maybe I should leave and then I'll come back in. This doesn't make any sense.
I think
Twin Peaks.
what we would have to do is boot you and then you come back in.
Boot me.
I
Just
don't think
kick
you
me
can-
out. It's fine. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Come
Okay.
back. Add to stage. There you go.
Thank you.
There we go.
It's like the two Coopers now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Too bad one couldn't be like reversed, right?
Right.
I felt like, so he knows who he's getting coffee for, how they like their coffee, and apparently he's been doing this for a while. Even down to, I didn't bother getting one for Dougie because he hadn't been here for a while. I thought he wasn't going to be here today. Okay. So when he gives him Frank's coffee, he's like, Frank doesn't really drink it anyway. I got an extra latte. Why did, or not latte? Yeah, well, it is a latte, a green tea latte. Why did he get an extra green tea latte? Maybe he likes it. Maybe that's what he drinks. But also because he figured, I know I could pawn it off on Frank if I need to because he'll drink anything.
But Frank really seemed to like it.
He did.
Really?
But I want the coffee.
It was all, and coupling it with the fact that what's his name said, he doesn't drink it anyway. It's like he only wanted it because that was his coffee. That was the only reason he wanted it.
It's all the office politics, all the little big,
It kind of is. It kind of is. And then he tries the latte. I'll bet you. And again, we probably don't see a lot more of this because this is a side thing. We just happen to be there with Dougie when this happens. You assume these people have their lives and they continue on without our observing them. But I would imagine going forward, he's like, instead of getting me coffee, can you get me that green tea latte thing that you did last time? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Something like that happened to us last night. After Netter went and got her tooth worked on, I took her to get a chocolate. Well, originally we were going to order a chocolate shake with a spoon, but she ended up getting a sundae. Well, I decided to get a sundae too. I ordered a peanut butter parfait. The girl was having a very bad day, and she instead made a strawberry sundae. I'm like, I ordered a peanut butter parfait.
No, she was trying to give it to me, and I'm like, I ordered chocolate.
Oh, that's what it was. You ordered chocolate.
And she goes, oh my gosh, this is the second time I've done this tonight. And literally, the person
right in front of us
ordered a vanilla cone. She gave him chocolate. And he goes, I ordered chocolate. She goes, I could have sworn you said chocolate. He goes, never mind, I'll take it. So he ended up taking it. And the same thing kind of happened with us.
And I was like, yeah, I'll take the strawberry.
Well, she did make me a chocolate one. Then she put the strawberry one behind her. And then Troy was like, yeah, I'll take the strawberry, So she only charged us for the one because of her mess up. But it's like, you know what? It's still fine. We would have paid for both.
Yeah.
And Troy liked it.
Because this is real life. This isn't, and these are the kind of details I kind of get a kick out of in Twin Peaks. It's not necessary, but it's neat. I like it.
It's neat.
Yeah. And Nate is speculating that you went to the Black Lodge for a bit there.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. It's just. Yeah.
Well, it kind of is like trying to communicate out of the lodge, right? Through all the static and electricity and stuff.
Are you having weather again, Boomer?
We are in stormy season. In fact, there's a little worry about something forming out there in the Atlantic, but we don't know enough yet. That's
stormy season is in a Stormy Daniels? I'm sorry, deleted. I saw the opportunity. I had to. Mark brings it around to Mr. Strawberry. Good on you, Mark. Again, paying attention to the details.
Yeah, so who is Mr. Strawberry? They mentioned him.
So tonight, last night Troy had strawberries, and tonight Evil Cooper said he was going to be calling Mr. Strawberry. Coincidence? I think not. Well,
that would make you Mr. Strawberry.
There is a reason that I am your guide in this bizarre realm of Twin Peaks. I have some insights. I have some contacts. Just saying.
Twin Peaks.
Yep.
And Dougie.
Yeah.
Why was Sonny Jim upset?
You'll find out more about what's going on with Sonny Jim later.
All right, because I was a little concerned.
It is kind of nice to realize that even though cognitively Cooper is a little bit lost and not entirely there, when it comes to empathy, he's 100% spot on. That part he's got. But yeah. So I guess I was about right. About an hour for the show, about an hour for the
commentary. Yeah.
I think that's becoming the way to do it.
It makes you want to keep watching more.
I mean, most episodes don't so much end on a cliffhanger. This one kind of does for me. It's like you're worried about Dougie. It's like I don't want him to stand there all night.
He may have to pee again.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Can't believe the bathrooms at that place have locks.
I've worked in many offices that were like that. Yes.
Wow.
I usually it's when the washroom is outside of the office. So like you have in this case an insurance company. The bathroom isn't within the suites of the insurance company. It's outside and shared. It's locked, and everybody who goes to the bathroom has a key to it, so that random people can't just go and hang out in the bathroom. It's a security thing. Yeah, that's really an issue that people have had to think about for quite some time in bigger cities. Yeah, if you can remember from the first time we met Cooper, he was a human lie detector. Yeah. Now, I get the impression that he's getting a little help right now from the lodge or something, right? Just like he was able to key in which machines were going to be the winners. He'd see that little Black Lodge flame above it. This time he saw like a green light on the dude's face. I don't know how that indicates that the guy was lying, but it meant something to him, so he just said it. This you might consider this a spoiler, but I'm just going to confirm a little bit of foreshadowing that we got tonight. He's going to come across something in the paperwork he's doing that's going to indicate, yep, he was lying. He's not going to understand it. He's not going to know what he found, but the boss is going to see it, and this is a recurring theme with Dougie, right? Going along, having no clue what he's doing. Things are kind of working out for him because you just feel like there's a bigger purpose here. He's just being used by the cosmic forces to fix things, so to speak. And I say fix things because everything that Dark Cooper has done for the past 30 years has been a artificial and negative influence on this world, and that includes the creation of Dougie Jones. Dougie Jones existed for 30 years as a person with a life, a wife, a child, a job. His life touched many others. I guess people from time to time just disappear without a trace, and that's tragic, but this is a person that never should have existed in the first place. And so I feel like the lodges, Mike, whomever, feels the need that these things be smoothed out. And that's part of Cooper's job before he moves on to other more specific things to himself and his intentions. I like that, Nate. That's not a spoiler. I think we all figured that out. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was like, you guys kind of know this. I'm just going to confirm it so you have something to look forward to next week. Again, this is another one of how I see spoilers is all you've given me is the plot points. I still want to see how it plays out, I told you guys that story about how I spoiled Return of the Jedi for myself, right?
No.
Yeah. So back when again, this is an old fart telling stories about before there was an internet, right? It was the only way you could have a movie spoiled for you is if you literally had a friend who had seen the movie and ruined it all for you, right? The thing was, the first couple weeks that Return of the Jedi was out, as kids, weren't necessarily able to get there right then first week, you know? So I didn't see it the first week. Most of my friends hadn't seen it the first week, you know? But what I did have access to was the comic books, and I picked up Marvel Comics put out the film adaptation in a kind of a magazine size. I grabbed that right away. So I read it all the way through. So it was like, for me, that was my experience with it. Basically, I only had one outstanding question that I needed answered from Empire Strikes Back. Is Darth Vader really Luke's father? You know? We had all been speculating, no, it's a lie, you know, because Vader lies, you know, he's an unreliable, you know, witness or whatever. It's not until Return of the Jedi and Luke literally directly asks Yoda, is Darth Vader really my father? Yes, your father he is. I was like, wow, okay, I guess it's true then, you know? But the other thing too is there's differences between the comics and the movie because they're working from a shooting script, things get changed. Or, as a comic book, they tend to focus on different scenes or different perspectives than the director might during the filming. So, for example, that whole bit at the end with Luke, you know, seeing the Force ghosts, it was implied there, but it wasn't, like, overt in the comic. So it was a little bit of a surprise for me when I saw it in the movie. So that was pretty cool. That's why I say, you know, even knowing all the basic plot points doesn't give you all the details of how it gets fleshed out. Way back when, we had to walk to school in a foot and a half of snow, uphill both ways. Exactly.
In bread bag shoes.
Right, in bread bag shoes. So anyway, there you go. Something to look forward to next week. Because next week we will be bringing you part 6.
How many parts are there total for those who are watching?
Not enough. Not enough. By the way, the name of the episode is Don't Die. I'm gonna give a little bit of a trigger warning for next week. It's a hard episode to watch. It's Don't Die. Take that title very seriously.
Okay.
But yeah, let me check and see how many. I don't really remember how many parts there were. 8. Got to count them. 9, 10. I want to say like 16 or 17. 17. Nope, it's more than that. 18. There are 18 episodes. So yeah, we're not that far into it. We're not even really at the halfway point, which is good. It's a long. It's still a shorter season than you would expect from a network television show like Twin Peaks, but it's longer than a lot of the streaming series that we've gotten. So there's that, you know. I think a lot of people were annoyed by the pacing of the show. I think it's perfectly on brand. He doesn't hurry it. You are supposed to focus on the apparently trivial details. So, there you go.
Cool.
And Curtis says that they're doing an in memoriam for pop culture curator. Gave us a link for that. So you can go check that out next. That's all I got.
I like the coffee drink, and that's why I chose it as my thumbnail. That's all I
Yeah.
got. Also, stuff with Shelly and her daughter. That's interesting. Yeah,
Yep.
but we'll probably see more on that as the time goes on.
This is again, like I said, the very natural and um, organic way of showing another generation, right? People have kids. Uh, you know, some of them very different from their parents. You know, others falling into similar patterns. You do see that there are patterns in this community, and if we're honest, that's true in the real world. It's not unrealistic. You know, seeing that Shelley's daughter is in a very dysfunctional relationship should not surprise us. The fact that she is, you know, involved in drugs, you know, that maybe somebody in the town is still part of the drug trade, especially when you see another Renault brother is working at the roadhouse. You know, there's a lot of connective tissue that is exactly the kind of dynamic you would expect from the real world. So, you know, we shouldn't be too surprised.
No, I guess not.
But it looks like I almost called him Wild Bill. Outlaw Bill is over on the stream, so you guys should get over there when you get an opportunity.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing, though. I would buy one of those golden shovels if given the opportunity.
2 coats, guaranteed.
Yes. Yes. We saw him doing it.
Yep.
So I guess that's one mystery solved, what he was up to with those shovels. Anyway, that's...
Golden shovels for shoveling shit.
Or mud. He did mention mud also.
Right. That's true.
He mentioned both, though.
Because otherwise that would be one big pile of shit.
Yes. Nadine seemed to be very inspired.
Yep. That's going to come up a little bit more later. And if you think about it, you know, she's definitely somebody that needs to take control of her life, you know, think about freedom, you know, shovel out the shit, you know. She's got some things to work through, so this is going to be a good thing for her, I think. You had shoes? Yeah.
New shoes.
New shoes, yes.
All right.
Oh, I guess we're waiting on Deleted. Did he step out?
Okay, not sure how long I was muted there, but okay.
It's all right. No, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe you were trying to talk when Troy was bringing stuff up, and you thought you were being ignored, didn't you? Okay, no.
Yeah, I do.
I was like,
believe-
I'm not the one bringing up the comments. He's still here.
I do believe that about wraps it up for this episode.
Yep.
Let's see. That gets us. Let's go one time around the horn. What's coming up, Boomer?
I'll be on Friday stream with Troy Pacelli here for Last Call Troy Pacelli. We're going to have an interesting stream discussing dreams.
Yep.
And Sunday you can check me out on Geeky Geezers. That's after the official pre-show of Geeky Geezers, which is unscripted with deleted scenes over here.
All right. Edward.
Let's let's see. Thursday, I will have on Thursday Things my special guest. I'll let Troy say because he loves to.
Oh, we will be having a special guest, Rod Thunderheart.
And then on Saturday...
I've been practicing that, by the way.
On Saturday, we will not only be celebrating our 32nd anniversary. Yeah, we've been around that long. I mean, like, together as a couple. We'll also be watching Dirty Rotten Scoundrels on my channel. And then, of course, I'm guesting on pretty much everybody on the Brothers channel.
Yeah.
Troy.
Yeah. So tomorrow night. No, tomorrow night. What night is this? Today's Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
Obviously, I'll be on with Netter and Rod Thunderheart on Thursday. Friday, last call, 9 o'clock Central, 10 Eastern. We will talk about dreams and I will drink, which means I will probably have some really weird dreams after the stream. I tend to have some pretty weird dreams when I've been drinking. I'll be there on the Saturday things. I'll be there at the Geeky Geezers. Coming around to next Monday. I don't think I've decided what the movies are going to be next week. Let me see here. Yes, you hear papers because I'm using an actual, paper calendar. Okay, July's pretty much over with. Yeah, I don't have anything down for this week for Monday, so I'll have
Gonna be Curly Sue and Matilda. There, I called it.
Curly Sue? I don't think I know that one.
Let me think about it.
I'm messing with you. I don't know what you're choosing. Okay.
This is our anniversary weekend. Maybe I'll find something a little bit romantic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So, every Monday, if you got nothing else going on, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, I've got Monday Night at the Movies on my channel. Usually a double feature. Come join us. And that'll bring us around to next Tuesday. Don't die.
Yep. All right. So that brings it around to me. I'll be joining Outlaw Bill Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern for Action Theater. We will be watching Red. Of course, catch me later on that night for the weekend update, where I let everybody know what I'm up to for the next week, which will include my appearance this Friday at 8 p.m. for Films with Friends, hosted by Big Al Presents, and we will be watching Humanoids from the Deep. Let's see. That gets us on around to Sunday, where, of course, Bill and I will be back again for Western Cinema Presents. And we're going to be watching a movie called Wild Horses, starring, directed by, and co-written by Robert Duvall, co-starring Adriana Barraza, James Franco, and Josh Hartnett. And it's a rather infamous movie because it has a rather low Rotten Tomatoes score, so we don't know quite what we're getting into. So we'll see. And of course, later on that night, Unscripted at 8 p.m. Topic to be determined. And then later on that night, after Geeky Geezers at 12:05 a.m. Eastern, 11:05 Central. The Other Side of Midnight will return. Guest to be determined. So I got a couple of people I'm waiting to hear back from, and whoever can make it will be the guest. All right. And, of course, join us right back here, same bat time, same bat channel, Tuesday night at 8:30 for episode 6 of season 3 entitled Don't Die. And hello to David Working. who has seen Mandy, the Nicolas Cage.
That's a good one.
But felt glad they finally made an actual Ghost Rider movie in spirit, at least. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I really,
It kind of is.
yeah.
Yeah. Wild horses is not what I wanted horses to be. And, Nina's saying, is that a low audience score or a low critic score? Both. So yeah, we'll see. Saw a rather interesting movie on last week's show entitled The Homesman with Tommy Lee Jones and Hilary Swank. And yeah, interesting was a good word to use for that one. A movie where everybody was either batshit insane or a complete jerk. So, yeah, an interesting viewing experience, that one. So we'll see. Sounds cool. I like Tom Lee Jones. You know. All right. I think that about wraps it up. I would like to thank everyone who followed along with us on Twitter. I can't see, but I know that you're there. I like to thank everyone who joined us here live in the chat. It's always good to see all of you. And of course, if you missed the show live and you're catching the replay, you will need your own physical copy in order to follow along with us. Or you can also find Twin Peaks: The Return currently streaming on Paramount Plus. All right, so I think this is a good time as any to wrap it up. Netter, I know you do have some final words.
Yeah. I'm saying this with sore jaw, so hopefully y'all can understand me. Yeah, it really does feel like someone punched me in the mouth.
Wow, sorry.
I offered to punch her on the other side to even it out, but she said no. So.
You're within throwing distance.
I know.
We could talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well good and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. Excuse me. Yeah, we love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here with us. You stayed through, what, 2 hours, over 2 hours of the stream? So what was it? 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 27 seconds listening to us talking about Twin Peaks Season 3. And, yeah, just really enjoying this with us. So you're not just encouraging us on the panel, you're encouraging each other in the chat. And that's just so wonderful to see. So thank you for being a part of our family. Thank you for being here with us in all of our streams. I love seeing you guys. It's so encouraging. It's like I see you guys show up and I just start smiling because it's like my friends are here, my family is here. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our family. And until Thursday night, when we'll be having special guest, who is it, Troy?
Rod Thunderheart.
That'll be 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Good night and God bless.
And as I always say, I would like to once again thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week, Tuesday night at 8:30. And of course, once again, thank my fellow panelists for taking the time out of their increasingly busy schedules to join me for this show. From HQ,
in all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe. Because this is how we win. Rest in peace to our fallen brother warrior, pop culture curator. Good night.
Is it future or is it past?
Hallo, hier ist Klofeld.
Ha 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 ha!